And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the Blue Zerg player himself representing Alien Esports. It is SoulSpirit. Getting 12 pools.
Man, even Reynor wanted to off-race here, man.
Like,
you know, he's like, fine, I'll play my main race. That doesn't mean I'll,
it's like,
play it standard.
He's like, if you really want it, I'll give it to you, mate. Let's go. For those wondering, Reynor was in the midst of picking Terran as his race, and SoulSpirit noticed.
If it was allowed, actually.
It was allowed, and SoulSpirit was asking, mate, you're not gonna off race me, are you? Don't do it, puppy. Don't do it. And Reynor's like, okay, I won't do it. I am merciful, as he 12 pulls.
Yep.
Oh god, the Lings are coming across the map. Meanwhile, they will get scouted by the barely not scout. Okay, they barely do get seen by the Overlord. Hopefully, SoulSpirit was looking. He definitely will see this now. But we are on Berlingrad, one of the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. SoulSpirit did go for a hatch gas pool. Again, he's gonna have to work with his drones here if he wants to hold on.
Yeah, he absolutely will. We see this a lot in TVZ Slate. We see this a lot when Zerg players will go for a hatch first on Berlingrad, just because they don't expect the opponent to not go hatch first, but Reynor does not conform to your standards of Zerg.
Yeah, how good is your drone drilling? It looks like not good enough. One drone already getting picked off there. A little bit of this micro there by SoulSpirit. Will lose one. Meanwhile, more Lings are coming across the map as well.
Second drone going down. A couple of Lings getting caught out by the Lings of Reynor. Drone drilling still kind of hanging on. He does get a surround on a lot of the Lings, but the drones are falling left and right. Here come the reinforcing Lings of Reynor, and this is enough damage for him to get a very comfortable worker lead. We were at 15 workers for Reynor against, I believe, 20 workers for SoulSpirit. Now, it was 15 to 10. Now it's 15 to none as Reynor takes game number 1. He is a merciful god.
He is merciful. GG, well played. Again, the drone micro was just not good enough there for SoulSpirit. The 12 pool just did far too much damage, and Reynor takes the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Berlingrad fell through the map vetoes, and I'm surprised that that is going to be our game number 1 as well.
Yeah,
but I guess maybe we just want to get it out of the way.
I mean, it's one of those things where you were talking about how this next series will be similar. It's like kind of, again, Reynor is more aggressive than Cyril in every which way, so he is not shameful at all. He is willing to go for 12 pools, 13 12s, 12s 11s if he needs to. Like, he doesn't care.
He is willing to have Terran in the lobby right now. And only at the very end switch back to Zerg.
Oh my god. The mind games, mate. The mind games. Let's go. As we're getting ready for game number 2. And once again, we go from the map with the smallest rush distance to another one of those smaller maps. Not quite Curious Minds, but it is Blackburn.
Yeah. Which, if Reynor really wanted to be cruel, would play Terran against the Zerg player on Blackburn. Not just because he's shown off how good his off race has been in recent tournaments, Rip Armani, but also because Blackburn is just, you were alluding to, such a short rush distance map, very easy to get a chokehold. May not really apply as much in ZVZ, but it does have a goal base, so ups for the downs. As we load into Blackburn, where in the bottom left-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we in fact have a blue Zerg player coming up from the land of France. He's going to be representing Alien Esports, going for a 12 pool. He is not Soul, he is not Spirit, he is SoulSpirit.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the red Zerg player himself representing KaiZ Gaming, KZG. It is Reynor.
And as much as I do advocate for Zerg players going gold first on Blackburn, yeah, this is definitely not a scenario where if you're Reynor, you want to be doing that.
Oh my god, but Reynor is kind of hard countering this, mate. Oh my god. Okay, so it was a 12 pool opening from SoulSpirit. He also took the gas behind this as well to just double down on the aggression. But Reynor went for a gas pool opener, a pretty safe, relatively safe. Because of this, he will have Lings earlier, he will have Ling speed, or even Banelings early as well. Not as fast as SoulSpirit, but again.
Fast enough, I should say. And Blackburn does have that pretty short rush distance, but again, this is kind of about the minimum, the latest timing you can take a pool and still defend against a 12 pool.
Yeah, I mean,
unlike I was just gonna say, unlike SoulSpirit, Reynor does not trust his opponent at all to not be aggressive. So yeah, he does delay his hatch, and because of it, he should survive. Yeah,
I mean, Queen's already on the way, Lings are already on the way as well. With all of this gas, he goes straight for a Baneling Nest and a Spine Crawler as well. SoulSpirit is all in, by the way. He went for a variant without a natural base. Lings are going to be chipping away at the natural of Reynor, but again, Reynor honestly doesn't even have to hold on to this.
Yeah, he can cancel that and lose a drone if need be. He, again, is still going to be ahead economically just because he was droning up a little bit. Drone drilling is looking very nice for Reynor, and he's taking this very, very carefully, not trying to go for any surrounds until he absolutely knows he can take out the Lings.
Yeah, exactly, but already loses 2 of his drones here, so not bad damage done by SoulSpirit, but now with the Queen, now with all these Lings, Reynor has successfully defended. And fun fact, Reynor's Baneling Nest is even faster than SoulSpirit's, and he is morphing in those Banelings. Oh.
Yeah. Even body blocking ramp right now.
Yeah.
These are slow Lings at the moment. And pretty soon they will have metabolic boost, but the Banelings should be able to, get a couple of kills regardless. He really wants that hatchery, and it will go down.
Yeah, again.
These things are kind of backed into a corner right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where losing the hatchery doesn't really matter here. Reynor didn't need it. He's still ahead in workers. Meanwhile, now it's all about the Ling Bane control.
Yeah, that was like the first line of defense for Reynor. Now comes the second line of defense, and it is a much more solid defense.
He's droning, mate. The madman is droning. He doesn't even care, mate. In his mind, he has already held. The drones are on the way. We have plenty of Banelings to defend. A Spine, a Queen.
Yeah, in Reynor's mind, he has already won, and he's not entirely wrong.
He's even looking to expand.
Just like so.
Yeah.
He's got 5 Banelings and 1 Queen, and he is confident enough in his control to be able to defend against all of those Lings, and he should be. He's shown off how impeccable his micro can be multiple times in the past.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do see SoulSpirit trying to get a little bit of a scout off, confirming the gas count in the main base, confirming that there is no fast lair on the way for Reynor. Again, just a pretty normal, solid response. What's interesting, though, is that Reynor opted not to go for Ling's speed here, and I'm curious to see if he skips it entirely and goes for something else instead.
Yeah, at least initially, I imagine this was just so he would be able to have the gas and get a couple more Banelings, but again, he has held for now, so not going for... There we go, metabolic boost.
Okay. I was thinking, with not going for Ling speed, he could maybe go into a faster lair or even a faster Roach Warren as well. But no, he is committed to Ling Bane. He brings his Spine down from that main base as well. Has a nice spread, but hopefully none of these Banelings get baited out.
And they don't. It's a reaction of Reynor. Coming in just in time. SoulSpirit will get his expansion out a little bit quicker than Reynor will.
Yeah, he does have it up and running, and here we have a follow-up all-in. SoulSpirit going for that Roach Warren hidden in the main base.
Now, is this actually going to be enough of SoulSpirit here? Because while Reynor has held what was meant to be an all-in from SoulSpirit, he did end up losing that hatchery. It was killed, as it did finish up, and now, economically, SoulSpirit is ahead in terms of tech. He is getting the Roach Warren quicker, so... by all means, he is ahead, but this is Reynor we're talking about. Roaches aren't exactly the direct counter to Lings.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned here for SoulSpirit. One, he is making roaches. He has 6 of them, but they can very easily get surrounded. Reynor is Ling flooding. He has stopped droning. He intentionally is behind in that drone count. He's going to be sending everything across the map, mate. And now finally SoulSpirit, he recognizes this, and he needs to wall off. He needs a little bit of SimCity. He needs something. He at least has some Banelings ready at home. Is it going to be enough, though?
I highly doubt it, especially when he moves so far forward with them.
Ugh. Yeah, exactly. So far, none of the Banelings. Okay, one Baneling does get picked off. The Roaches are coming out as well. All these Banelings aren't going to be anywhere near as useful against them. Forces a cancel.
Yeah, it's going to be much more useful here for Reynor. It's one Baneling that he really needs to worry about, but other than that, he can start going for surrounds and slip through little pockets of the roaches. He did drone up initially, but now he is making nothing but lings and baits.
Yeah, the spine is still here. The queens come down from the main base. We do see a little bit of a ling run by, though. This is so smart by Reynor. He catches some reinforcements. He may even try and go for the queen here, but at the same time, roaches are pushing into his natural.
Yeah, thankfully he does still have that Spire from earlier on, but he's going to be relying a lot on the queens. Banelings do soften up the roaches quite a bit, actually. Makes it a little bit easier for the Spinecrawler to take it out. Very clutch transfuse. Reynor pulling a couple of boys. He can afford to lose a couple of them as the lings come out. He doesn't even... Okay, he loses one drone. That's a lot less than I think even he thought he would lose.
Yeah, that was an impressive first hold, but SoulSpirit is not letting up on the aggression. He wants to keep on going. He did end up losing a lot of roaches, though, so he has to be a little bit careful. He did get a third, but he's only using it for larva.
Yeah, to be fair, though, so is Reynor at the moment. Oh,
yeah.
Nice snipe on the Banelings.
Yeah, decent snipe here. Meanwhile, the roaches are trying to bust their way on forward. They are so battered. They are so bruised, but he does catch 2 roaches.
Yeah, Reynor really needs to be careful not to lose too many here. I was going to say he can always retreat back to that Spinecrawler, but that Spinecrawler is gone now.
Yeah, the spine is gone, but we do have a couple of roaches coming out here. Is it going to be enough? Every single boy is being pulled. SoulSpirit, he's doing it, puppy. He's doing it.
He's going to take a map.
Take the series, mate. What are you on about? He is going to be able to take down every single worker here. There's no queens. The spine got taken out. Reynor, again, not respecting his opponent. GG gets called, and SoulSpirit does it.
Proves that Reynor ain't the only one who can 12 fool here.
God, going for a follow-up Ling Flood was very bold of Reynor, and I don't blame him for it. Again, if we did have just straight-up Ling Bane from his opponent, then it probably would have worked. But again, Reynor had no idea about that early Roach Horn until the roaches were already coming across the map, and that is where the map comes into play.
Absolutely. I guess that is, at the end of the day, just Reynor for you, right? You were, speaking about how Reynor and Searle, very different types of players. Reynor is very aggressive. He wanted to go for the counterattack the minute he held. He just had to build up a little bit to that, but in that time, SoulSpirit was also building up, like you said, that Roach Horn.
Yeah, and you know what's great about this? SoulSpirit, he's very similar to young Yakov in the previous series. This is also his debut in the round of 32 of ESL Pro Tour. He's never made it this far in this tournament circuit before. So again, he has nothing to lose, and for him to already take a game over Reynor, that is huge. He's close to taking a series. Like, it's not outside of the realm of possibility, mate.
Let's go, and another really short map now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
These two players, no restraints on them. They just said, we're ready to go and take off our leg weights, our shackles, whatever. We're just going to be attacking each other as quickly as possible.
It's all about the aggression, mate. So in game 1, we saw Reynor 12 fool. Game 2 was SoulSpirit. Game 3, who 12 fools? Who does it?
Both of them. My eyes glued to the production tab as we intro our players on Curious Minds LE. This is going to be the final map of the evening here on the B stream, and in the top left-hand corner, spawning all the way in the top left-hand, we have the red Zerg player hailing from the land of Italy. He is going to be representing KZ Gaming. KZG! He is Reynor.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds ESL, we have the Blue Zerg player himself representing Alien Esports. It is SoulSpirit. Oh.
But we do, despite not being a 12 pool, we do have a pool first coming up from Reynor. SoulSpirit, however, going for a gas pool.
I love it. So Reynor is going for the safe opening. Just straight up pool first here. Nothing fancy about it. In case in case his opponent goes for an earlier pool, he will have lings and queens at home to defend. So again, Reynor has been humbled. Meanwhile, SoulSpirit going for a much more aggressive variant, going for the faster gas, which means he will have a faster ling speed timing and even baneling timing.
Oh yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on these drones. See if they do stop at 100 gas, or if they continue mining. A straight up Ling Flood, I think, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world against Reynor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a Ling Bane all-in here from SoulSpirit, but as you said, we'll see when he decides to pull out of gas, as he does get 100 for Ling speed, and he continues mining gas as well to get into, I imagine, that Baneling nest.
Hell yeah. Lings of Reynor already making their way across the map just to sort of figure out what SoulSpirit has gone for when it comes to the openings.
And this is dangerous, because, one, he reveals his hand, so now SoulSpirit knows that it was a pull first. Two, these Lings are across the map, and when Ling speed finishes, SoulSpirit is just gonna swallow them up. Like, there's gonna be no way home here for these Lings.
Swallow them up and zoom in the opposite direction.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Lings of Reynor are trying to do whatever they can, dishing out a little bit of damage on the main base, you know, dancing with the Lings of SoulSpirit. Again, as long as SoulSpirit's control is on point, he shouldn't be losing anything here.
And it is on point, so he doesn't for now. Metabolic Boost just about to finish up with SoulSpirit. For Reynor, it is still quite a ways off. More importantly, though, SoulSpirit Baneling Nest is just about to finish as well.
Yeah, what's important is that Reynor did scout the timing of his opponent's base, so he knows that it wasn't a hatch first, so he is preparing at home. He doesn't know how early, or like whether or not it was a pull first opener or a gas pull though, so he's a little bit in the dark. He's droning up right now, and the Lings are coming across the map, mate, and they're being backed up at home!
Metabolic Boost has just finished up, and all of these Lings are going to start making their way across the map. Baneling's already being morphed now.
He's
just
journeying.
outside. Yeah, just outside the vision.
Oh.
Dude, Reynor really needs the perfect control right now. He's even pulling the board
Oh,
because he thinks it's just gonna be
he
Ling.
sees the Baneling reveals itself. Reynor, he evacuates the main base immediately. He knows that he cannot hold on to it. The Baneling nest is about to finish up, so he will be able to morph in Banelings behind the Queens.
Losing the base is gonna be the bare minimum right now
Ooh.
for Reynor. Well, depending on how SoulSpirit plays this out, he has a higher Ling count, and he has been able to take out just about every single Ling that Reynor has right now. I like this with SoulSpirit. He's not wasting his Banelings on the Queens. He cancels out, neutralizes the Banelings of Reynor, and now there are no more defenses for our Italian Stallion. Can he take out the Baneling? He does.
Yeah, I was about to say, unfortunately, SoulSpirit did end up wasting a couple of Banelings there. He could have done the same thing with one less, and he would have had one Baneling to help defend again, or to deal with all of these drones. In the end, Reynor is going to be able to push all this back, and SoulSpirit drones up.
Wow. You know, I thought Reynor had no defenses, but I forgot how effective drones can be when they are angry.
Yeah, mate,
And more importantly, when they're controlled well.
SoulSpirit only needed one Baneling. He only needed one Baneling left over from that engagement at the ramp, and he probably would have just won the game then and there. That was so close. That was so very close. Reynor holds on, and now the game is going to normalize here as both players back up.
Well, that's what we think. We all know the tendencies of Reynor to go for counterattacks. But yeah, he is, like you said, playing a bit of a more normal game.
Yeah, God, I would love to get like an instant replay of like what exactly the trade was with all those Banelings here at that ramp, because again, it was so close. It could have been a win here for SoulSpirit. It still can be as the game is going on. Both players are just droning on up. We do see both players even working towards their Roach Warrens, so again, they are keeping up with each other.
Yeah, SoulSpirit going to be the first player to grab an upgrade, and it's going to be Carapace. Doesn't really trust the Banelings of Reynor at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Does trade a little bit inefficiently there, but we'll be able to sneak one Ling into the main base, confirming the gas count at the natural, confirming that there is only one gas for the time being, so he should feel relatively safe that it shouldn't be like the mutas or anything crazy like that.
What he sees is exactly what's to come. What's to come. More roaches are being thrown down.
Yeah, exactly. So again, nothing too fancy from either of these players. You do see SoulSpirit, you know, get a Ling here or there. Reynor going for his own counterattack, confirming the timing of his opponent's third base.
Yeah, a lot of pressure being applied here by only 5 Lings. This one Baneling gonna make its way forward.
Yeah, exactly. Again, nothing too major. They're both just testing each other, but they're both working on their roaches. Reynor is slightly behind with his upgrades, so prioritizing +1 range instead.
Yeah, there's definitely a good way of nullifying the +1 Carapace of SoulSpirit in the eventual Roach Wars. But again, I feel like SoulSpirit mostly prioritized Carapace just because he was worried about Banelings.
Yeah, and again, Carapace, they help out with everything, right? With Lings and Roaches. Meanwhile, SoulSpirit was in the middle of potentially moving out, but he confirms and sees the defensive Roaches here for Reynor and knows that he doesn't want to risk a fight too early before he has any kind of big advantage. +1 carapace will finish up in a couple of seconds, but again, not the most impactful upgrade in Roach versus Roach.
Yeah, it's also just difficult in general to push across the map in a ZVZ without the Lal Reconstitution. Lair just about now going to be finishing up for SoulSpirit, so yeah, you really don't want to be the aggressor without that additional speed.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting thing to point out, is that Reynor never got his lair. He still hasn't started his lair as well, which is interesting. He just scattered with his Ling. I think the Ling died before Glad Reconstitution finished here, but Reynor's going to have to start working on his lair soon. Otherwise, okay, no, there we go. It now starts.
Yeah, but it's so much later in the SoulSpirit, so...
Yeah, and SoulSpirit is going to be able to scout that. He gets into the main base. He confirms the timing of the lair. But what I was about to say is that, you know, what resources he didn't spend on his lair, he spent on Roaches instead, and Reynor is pushing out across the map.
Yeah, but I think enough time has passed that SoulSpirit was able to catch back up when it comes to the army supply. Reynor recognizes this, decides now is not the time.
Oh yeah, it really wasn't. I do think that may have been Reynor's downfall if he committed a little bit too hard, especially because as soon as Roach Speed finishes, SoulSpirit, I almost called him Soul Key.
Well, pretty similar enough.
Yeah, he's basically Soul Key at this point. He took a game off of Reynor, mate. Let's go. He would have been able to chase everything down, so it's a very dangerous prospect here if Reynor was to commit to a fight.
As I said, he is slowing things down and just playing things out more defensively. He can't overtake the upgrades just yet, so he's just making sure that he, is even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. As Reynor, what's interesting, he's running up a lot, mate. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. SoulSpirit he doesn't care about his gases at his 3rd base. He's just going for a massive push.
He might as well be all in at this point. Doesn't have too many Ravagers, but he has a very comfortable Roach lead at the moment. Can he get the good positioning? It's looking pretty good for now.
Mate, it's looking pretty good. There are no Ravagers here for Reynor to force any kind of micro. SoulSpirit, he is forcing his way through. He forces the boys.
Oh, is he gonna do it?
Mate.
Yeah, the boys are currently being pulled, and that might mess up the positioning a little bit. Reynor trying to reinforce as much as he can, but he loses 10 of the drones that he just built.
Yeah, is it going to be enough though? We do have a couple of queens. We do have 1 transfuse going down as well. Reynor barely holding on here. And with his reinforcements, is it going to be enough? Oh my god.
It is going to be enough to chase back the army of SoulSpirit. He is still ahead. But he, doesn't want to overextend, or anything. A lot of his Roaches are very, very injured. He took a very, very big worker lead by killing all of those drones, and that's gotta hurt if you're Reynor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really interesting because Reynor didn't pull all his drones from his 3rd base, but he pulled just enough to keep things even. Like, the worker counts are pretty even right now between the 2 players, despite Reynor joining up earlier. So again, they're kind of going tit for tat here, but SoulSpirit is looking for another timing because +1 missile tax is about to finish up.
And the upgrades are just about even right now. Ling slip into the main base and mess up that mineral line. SoulSpirit trying to fight on the high ground. Reynor will cede the position, and SoulSpirit just moves on forward, scuttles on forward to take out as many Roaches as he can. Has to be careful though, the defensive advantage for Reynor is something he does not want to underestimate, but he gets concave after concave after concave regardless.
Yeah, the reinforcements are real, mate. The 1 Ravager is doing whatever he can. It looks like, again, with reinforcements, he may be able to hold on, but SoulSpirit keeps on pushing in.
And he takes out the Ravagers. He takes out the entire army that Reynor has got right now. More Roaches are being produced and thrown across the map. More boys are being pulled.
Mate, it's a little bit too late here. The boys are pulling again. This upgrade timing is insane. SoulSpirit is hitting with 1-1. It looks like, again, with the reinforcements, Reynor's trying to hold on to his 3rd base. Sorry, his natural, but his 3rd is completely forfeit.
Yeah, all the drones and all the workers there as well. GG is called. SoulSpirit is going to be the first player to take a series from Reynor in this entire event.